Hi dear students, welcome back to the section of mathematics of class 10. So in this section we are going to discuss about MCQs. Hope you understood why we are going to discuss about MCQs, right? Because our exams are coming very nearer and nearer, and specifically this term one examination, you know that we are going to deal with MCQ questions. Now what is MCQ? Multiple choice questions. So 40 marks, out of this 40 marks, there will be 40 questions which you have to attend, and each question consists of 1 mark. And how to improve your ability so as to get any particular answer within 1 minute, that is the task which is given in front of you. And today we are going to reveal the things and the shortcuts, how to understand a big question at a glance, how to get the answer in 1 minute. So here goes the section before you, the section of MCQs. So, in this exam, when you're going to appear, you can see that the answer sheet which is going to be provided will be a optical mark reader. That means an OMR sheet will be provided for you. This is the level of an OMR sheet, and here you can see there will be 40 questions given in front of you, and in each number means you can see that there are 4 choices given them, A, B, C and D, and there are round like structures, right? What you have to do means you have to work in the working column, and you will be given a rough paper for this one, or towards the back side of this MCQ you can write the rough work there. And after writing the rough work, once you got the answer, what you have to do means you have to mark in the correct column. How to mark means you have to take the pen and you have to round a black circle. You have to round it into black. Each circles you have to make it into dark circles. Whatever your relevant answer is, if you got, for example, if you're doing the first question, you could understand that C is the correct option. So what is the circle given very near to that C? You have to dark that circle. Totally you have to dark that circle, and that is the way how to answer in an OMR sheet. Hope you understood this one, right? Okay, now let us get into the class. So here goes the first chapter before you, real numbers, and here is the first question. The decimal form of 129 divided by 2 square into 5 raised to 7 into 7 raised to 5 is terminating, non-terminating, non-terminating, non-repeating decimal. So here you can see, let me copy down. What is the fraction given? That is the way what you have to do. First of all, fix your eyes on the fraction given. What is the fraction number given here? It is 129 divided by, on the denominator part, 2 square, 5 raised to 7, 7 raised to 5. The main thing which you have to focus is on the denominator part, because here what is the question? There are 4 options: terminating decimal, non-terminating decimal, non-terminating, non-repeating decimal. So here goes it. So when you're focusing your eyes on the denominator part, if in the denominator, see here there are 3 bases. What are the base? This is what we call the powers, right? 2, 7 and 5 are the powers, and this is what we call the base. So here the base of the first number is 2, the second one is 5, and the third one is 7. And the main tip inside this one is that if the denominator consists of only 2 and 5, if the denominator consists of only 2 and 5, then we can say this number will be a terminating decimal. That means if there is a group of 2 and 5, a pair of 2 and 5 is coming on the denominator part, or we can say if there is only 2, or if there is only 5, or if there is a group of 2 and 5. In these 3 cases, we can say that the number will be, whatever the power is, it doesn't matter. Okay, whatever the power is, it doesn't matter. The main thing you have to focus is whether there is 2 only, then we will say it is terminating. If there is only 5, then also we will say it is terminating. If it consists of 2 and 5, then also we will say it is terminating. Other than this, if any numbers else is there, so here you can see that 7 is an odd number, right? It is another number. Rather than 2 and 5, one more new number is being introduced there, 7. So definitely we can say this is not going to terminate. And in this case, we will say if you are seeing such a combination, means 2, 5 and another one more number, definitely we will choose the third option. This, and the answer of this question will be non-terminating, non-repeating decimal. So this is the way how to find the answer just by seeing the question itself, means just by noticing the denominator part. Hope you understood, right? So let us go to the second question. The HCF of 8, 9 and 25 is. There are 4 options: 8, 9, 25, 1. Right? From these 4 options, 1 is your answer. So whenever you want to find the HCF, there are plenty methods how to find the HCF. You already know that from your class of 8th onwards, or from, I think from your 7th class, you are studying how to deal with the HCF and LCMs, right? But here in 10th class, we studied the prime factorization method, which is the easier method to find the HCF. So let us go for that one itself. So what are the numbers mentioned here? The first number is 8, next number is 9, and the third number is 25. Every time express them as the powers of primes. Powers of primes. So this can be expressed as 2 cube, this can be expressed as 3 square, and this can be expressed as 5 square. So after getting this one, you have to find the HCF of 8, 9, and 25, right? So what you have to do? You have to see whether there are any commons. If there is any common, that will be your answer. And if there is any common, what you have to choose means among that common, which is having the least power. I repeat, which is having the least power, because the trick is this one: HCF, highest common factor. So when highest common factor comes, you have to think about the least one, the smallest power. It should be common and it should have the smallest power. So from this thing, what you have to notice is whether there are any common factors. If there is any common factor, the next thing which you have to notice is which is the least power. Which is the least power? I will repeat, the least power, because it is highest common factor. Highest common factor. When you are hearing highest, you have to go for the least. Is it clear? So that is the first thing which you have to keep in your mind, the least power which is having the common factor. But obviously here you can see there is no common factors. So in this case, as there is no common factor, we can introduce 1 in every case, right? Because any number multiplied by 1 is it is the same number itself. So we can say 1 will be common. So as 1 is common, so definitely we will say the HCF of 8, 9, and 25 is 1 itself. So option number 4, 1 is the answer. So most probably, see, in these typical types of questions, whenever they are asking for HCF, and like those questions, means most probably the question regarding to HCF, they will give such 3 numbers in which there are no commons. So first of all, you just find the prime factorization, and if at the time if you found that there is no common, then go for it. 1 is the answer. Okay, there is no need to think and worry about it. What will be the answer? 1 is the answer. So this is the way how to get it. Hope you understood. Going to the next question. Which of the following is not irrational? Not irrational means rational. Right? Not irrational. It should not be irrational. Means it should be a rational. Which one is rational? So how to understand which one is rational? Just by seeing if there is any root, means root 5, root 7, root 3, right? Root 11. So those numbers are what we call irrational numbers. If anywhere, if you are not finding such typical types of numbers, then that particular number is what we call an irrational number. And here you can see there are 4 options. And here this case is totally different, because in these 4 options you can see everywhere you can see root is there. So let me mention one by one. So our question is to find which is not irrational. So these are the 4 options given this one. So among these 4, 1 is the right option. So everywhere you can see root 3. Here there are 2 numbers, root 2, root 3. Here there are 4, right? Root 2, root 3, again root 2, root 3, here root 7. So which one? So in every number, you can see in every options, 1 irrational number is there. So here, anyhow, 2 into 2 it is 4, then 2 into root 2, 2 root 3 will be there. So definitely this will be not your option, because 2 root 3, that is again irrational. So here there are 2 irrational, 2 root 3, then 2 root 2. Both of them, again and again, when you are multiplying by 2, again it becomes irrational. See this one also, here it's a specific thing. See, 7 is there. 7 can be written as root 7 into root 7, right? Even if you are writing root 7 into root 7, 1 root 7 and 1 root 7 will cancel together, but still another 1 more root 7 will come here. So this is not the option. If these 3 are not the option, this one will be the option. That is the first thing. That is the one method. So here, one thing is very clear. In the third option, it is of the form a plus b into a minus b, right? So in a plus b into a minus b, it is a square minus b square. So it is here, instead of a, it is root 2. Instead of b, it is root 3. So a plus b into a minus b, a square minus b square means root 2 square minus root 3 square. That is 2 square minus 3 square. Right? 2 square is 4, 4 minus 3 square is 9. So 4 minus 9, it is minus 5. Minus 5 is an irrational number. So actually, the main thing which you have to think is whenever these typical types of options are given in front of you, you just focus in any one of the option in which a plus b and a minus b comes. Means if any one of the option. If it is of the form a plus b into a minus b, just go for that one. There is no need to check all these things. Straightforward you will say that will be the answer. Just go for it. A plus b into a minus b. If it is of that form, choose that one. That is the only thing behind this one. So that's it. This is the way how to get the answer from that one. Okay. Now going to the next question. Which number is exactly divisible by 11? So here there are 4 numbers given. Let me write it down one by one. So first focus on the numbers. So these are the 4 questions, 4 options given in front of us. So among this, you have to find which one is exactly divisible by 11. So what you have to do, you will take your pen and you will start dividing by 11 and you will say whether the remainder is 0. Whenever you are getting the remainder as 0, you will say that is exactly divisible by 11, right? But that is not the way. That's not the easiest method. So let us go for the easiest method. See, whenever if you want to check whether a particular number is divisible by 11, what you have to do means take the sum of the alternate numbers. Take the sum of the alternative numbers. And then you have to subtract them together. And when you are subtracting, if your answer is 11 or if your answer is 0, then we will say that number is exactly divisible by 11. That means, first of all, you have to add the alternative numbers. In 2 sets, you will add them and then find the difference. If the difference is 0 or 11, in both of these cases, we will say that typical number will be divisible by 11. Let us check the first question. So here you can understand the alternative numbers is 1 and 1. Adding 1 and 1, it is 2. Then 5 plus 6, that is another alternative set, right? 5 plus 6, it is 11. So 11 minus 2, it is 9. It is not 11, it is not 0. So this number is not divisible by 11. Check the second number. 5 plus 1, right? 1 and 5 are the alternative numbers. 1 plus 5, it is 6. 4 plus 2, that is also 6. 6 minus 6, it is 0. Then there is no need to check these 2 things. It's over. The second time itself you got the answer. Is that clear? So just by checking like this, there is no need to divide this and find the do it in a long division method. Just by one glance itself you will get the answer. So this is the way how to understand whether a given particular number is divisible by 11 or not. Hope you understand. Going to the next question. So here goes the next question before you. Find the largest number that will divide 60 and 75, leaving a remainder 8 and 10 respectively. So here, what is the question? You have to find the largest number. Whenever you're hearing the largest number, just note it down. That will be the HCF, largest number. When you're hearing the word the least number, it will be LCM. Okay, that's the first thing you have to understand. So anyhow, you understood that you are going to find HCF itself. Now here one thing is given. There are 2 numbers given. What are the 2 numbers given here? They are 60 and 75. And in the same sentence itself, it is given that they are leaving the remainder. What is the remainder obtained here? Leaving the remainder 8 and 10 respectively. 8 and 10 respectively. So the first number, the first 2 numbers are 60, 75. Then the remainder which when obtained means when you are dividing these particular numbers, you will get a remainder. What is the remainder obtained? The remainder is 8 and 10. That means if you are dividing this one, you are doing something, you will get 8. If you are dividing this one by a particular number, after doing this one, you will get a 10. That's the meaning. So if you got 10, see, whenever you want to find the HCF, what you have to do, if in this question it is mentioned that 8 will be the remainder, so you have to check 60 minus 8. What is 60 minus 8? It is 52. Then 75 minus 10, that is 65. That means what you have to do means you have to find the HCF of 52 and 65. It's not clearly stated there. In other words, it's given that when you are dividing that number by 60, you will get 8 as a remainder. That means you have to take 52. You are dividing a number by 75, you got 10 as a remainder. That means you are going to divide 65. That's the meaning of that one. So these are the 2 numbers which you have to find the HCF. Now in the previous time I told you, here we found, how did we find HCF here? When we were finding HCF at that point, we found it by the method of prime factorization. So here, anyhow, these are the 2 numbers. So from these 2 numbers, you have to find the HCF. So I told you, finding the HCF, there are 2 methods. One is the method of prime factorization. But here we are not going for that one because it's not that much easy to find HCF there. The easier method in these 2 cases is that, first of all, take this 65 and divide it by 52. How many times? It is 1 time, because anyhow you know 52 2 times it is more than 100. 52s are 100, so more than that it is going to happen, means 112 it will be. So we are not going for that. So 52 1 times, it is 52. So 5 minus 2, it is 3. So 6 minus 5, it is 1. So you got 13. Now what you have to do? Again, you have to bring this 52 here, right? And divide it. 13, how many times? 13 fours are 52, isn't it? You got 0. So in this case, we will say here you got 13. And when you are getting 13 at that point, we will say this 13 is what we call the HCF, isn't it? Because we know this method, right? So here, as you got 0, then this one, the quotient which you got there, that is regarded as the HCF. So the HCF of this one is 13. So tick that 13. 13 is the correct option, and that is your answer.